Hello there, and welcome to the Impact Zone podcast. We are back once more, to talk more TNA wrestling shenanigans. And today we are discussing theme music, or music in general, mostly theme music, I guess, because they do have other music in relation to some of their pay-per-views, in relation to some of the documentaries and things that they put out there sometimes that are quite good as well. But I guess we'll mostly be talking about theme music here. I think this sort of came about because recently we've seen a couple of wrestlers get new theme music, particularly Rosemary and Josh Alexander. So it's one of those things. I do feel like TNA theme music for the most part is pretty good. Like Joe Hendry's is his own and is great because it's like something that he produced himself and made himself, and really worked on, and it's really personal to him and his character, and to everything that he's doing as a wrestler. I think that themes, like back in the day, WWE had some great themes. A lot of people could name a bunch of like the great WWE themes. Now, a lot of the WWE themes aren't as good. Of course, there are a few exceptions, like Cody Rhodes. But again, Cody Rhodes made his own theme song, or worked on getting his own theme song once he left WWE and whatnot, and he's kept that same theme song since then, and whatnot. So again, that theme song really fits him because again, he worked on it specifically to get it to be relating to him, and whatnot, to his character and his journey. And that's what theme songs should really do. They should really, emphasize the character that you're seeing, and sometimes even the story that you're seeing. Like, we look at Josh Alexander and his heel turn. Now he's got a new theme song, and the theme song that he had before, it was pretty darn good. I think the new theme song blends a little bit of his old theme song in there as well, or maybe it's a little bit of a different verse of the song. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But yeah, the sound of it's really different, and just like the way it hits when he comes out is a lot different. And that's really, really good because that is this new iteration of this character. It's almost like seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin's Drowning Pool version of his song. That was a really good indicator of his character change and whatnot, when he changed his character to being a heel and whatnot. That he had that Drowning Pool version of his theme song. Now Josh has his theme song changed, to something else or whatever. So that's really good. Rosemary recently got a theme song change to her classic, Decay, theme music and whatnot. She had one there a while back, I think, as well, for her and Havoc, when they were doing the Courtney Rush and the Jessica character as well. But yeah, she's just had another one as well, which is another really, and again, it's all about presentation as well, with the lights and whatnot going off, and being different colors, and doing different things. And the smoke and whatnot used to be a big part of her entrance and whatnot again. But again, it's all about these different little things that you can bring to a character, or to, even Kaz. His theme music was, I think it was one of his classic theme musics, I think it was, or close to one of his classic theme musics when he came back to TNA. And he actually has a band. I didn't even recognize know this, but he has a band, and he made his own theme song because, and again, that really worked out pretty well for him when he changed his character up and whatnot, that sort of thing. That new theme, it suit his new character pretty well. I think like, for the most part, a lot of TNA wrestlers' themes. Like, the thing is about a theme, especially when you're talking about these surprise debuts or these surprise entrants. Well, not so much surprises, but those sorts of things. When somebody's music hits, you've got to be able to identify it in like the blink of an eye or in a few seconds. Like Giselle Shaw, she changed her theme song and it didn't really catch on that well because I guess wasn't it really didn't hit right. So they decided to go back to the old theme, which is a good thing sometimes. As well, you can just say, oh well, that didn't really hit, and no, like I think you need to introduce it. There needs to be a point at which you know this wrestler is coming out, or is like so you know to expect new theme music or whatever. In a sense, like we know this wrestler's coming out. Oh wait, this is new theme music. Oh, this must be their new theme music. Like so you start associating that theme music with them. It like helps when it's sort of semi personal, like what the Josh Alexander's the barrel of a weapon. Like whose else could that theme be? Like he's been known as the walking weapon for ages, so that really fits him really well. So that obviously it's the Walking Weapons theme song, that works really, really well. So again, just having that, it seems iconic. It seems like this really fits that person. And that's what you need. You need that, instant, like 1 or 2 seconds or whatever else it is that you instantly know, is this person coming out? Whatever. You need to be able to recognize it, and that's the thing, like you need to be able to identify it right in your head, like straight away. Oh, this is this person's theme or that person's theme. It needs to fit the character and the story and whatever else that they're going into, and it needs to be a personal sort of thing. The System's theme song as a whole is pretty great. Moose's individual theme song's pretty good. I don't know when or if like Eddie Edwards is going back to any of his older themes, but he has like still like some good themes, I think. So yeah, like Mike Bailey's sticks out, whatnot, and they're not just they can't just be generic, like Jake something's what's my name, like straight away you know who it is. It's Jake something. What's my name? Whatever. They need to fit the person. They need to be instantly recognizable, and they need to be good. Like, because again, like that's the first couple of things that you see when somebody comes out, or hear when somebody comes out, or whatever. It's like, oh, okay, cool, it's this person, or whatever. You know who it is because it's connected to that person. You can immediately know what's going on and where things are going and where you stand and who it is. Jordan Grace is, like the sirens going off and whatnot. Not just in generic. It's sort of like Scott Steiner's, music, and that's intentional, in some ways, but it is a little bit different. It's a little bit more personalized to her and whatnot to some degree. Though again, it could be a little bit more, but still, like it still fits pretty darn well. Gianna Praza, when she was there, she had great theme music. That violin, and whatnot. So yeah, Zaya Brookside's theme music. That she doesn't just have to be new theme music like that. She's a fairly new wrestler, but still. That's a great theme song. It is her theme song. It's it really fits her. I don't know so much about like Steph DeLanders, perhaps, I don't know. Obviously First Class, their theme song, that's pretty good. That's pretty recognizable. But there's a few other theme songs. Ash by Aliens. There's a lot of theme songs that are there that are great, that are, a few seconds in, you instantly know who this person is, basically, who's coming out, what's going on, etc. Or again, like even when the Josh Alexander's theme song before, I knew everyone knew exactly what it was, but when he debuted that new theme song, it's like no one. It's not like anyone didn't know who it was immediately who was coming out, because it's so obvious, like who it's for, and whatnot. It's so obvious who it's for that you basically immediately went, oh, The Walking Weapon has new theme music. This is a pretty sick new theme song. That's pretty cool. They're putting that new theme song in there not just because, oh, let's give them new theme music for no reason, or because we lost the rights to it, or because of this, or because of that, or whatever. No, because, hey, this is a character shift, or this is, they gave that new theme song to Rosemary. They gave that new theme song to Giselle Shaw because they were having a character shift or something. There was something happening in their storyline, something that they were trying to eke out. Yes, Giselle's didn't work, but again, they tried something to develop that, and perhaps there wasn't enough thought into it. But again, like they put a lot of effort for the most part into most of the things that they do, and to developing these, themes for these wrestlers. They've got to suit the wrestler and the circumstances that they're in. And that's the way that WWE used to have their music, back in the 90s and 80s and, early 2000s and whatnot. But, and hopefully they will again, and whatnot. But TNA used to do that a lot, has always pretty much done that, and whatnot. They, I don't know who specifically does the music and whatnot for TNA, but they're doing a pretty good damn job of putting together, the music there. I don't know if it's, all original or in-house, or they have a lot of collabs or whatever going on, or bring in artists or whatnot, or indie bands or whatnot, and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, like it's really important to have those themes, the fans feeling like, man, they're really putting effort into this. They're not just like, yeah, some generic hip-hop or whatever else, or just some generic rock or whatever else it is, because again, people want to feel that connection that is to that specific wrestler. It's like, so, like Batista's theme music, I walk alone, that sort of thing. Like, you can do that, but the song needs to really fit, what the person is, what, what's going on. Like, there's a lot of great themes. I can't go through them all, but again, I think that they do a great job. They need to keep doing this sort of stuff and keep that music out there so that people can, relate to these wrestlers, because that's another way that people interact and react to these wrestlers. Because again, if the Rascals, or if Josh Alexander, or whoever it is, ever goes to WWE for the Royal Rumble or something like that, like the people that are there need to go, holy shit, it's the Walking Weapon, like, and blow their minds. Like, you don't want people to sit back and go, what is this? You want people scratching their heads, what's this, or whatever, just some random drum beats. So, okay, I can't tell who this is because all the themes sound the same, or whatever, or they're all so generic that you can't differentiate too many of them apart, except for like a handful of them or whatever it is. But that's what you want. You want people to feel like, man, I know exactly what this guy's theme song is, because it's, or you feel like you know what it is because you know what that wrestler's all about, or what they're up to and whatnot, the impact that they're making, so, or the idea behind their character or whatever. Immediately, if you hear that, you go, okay, that's this person. Okay, holy shit, this person's coming out. Oh shit, like whatever else it is. So yeah, that's really important. And like, that's the problem with a lot of these NXT guy themes or whatever that are currently happening. And perhaps that's because they haven't had enough time to sort of sink in or whatever, but none of them sound like that iconic or that, impressive or whatever else. Like they all sounded fairly generic for the most part. So I really feel like that needs to be, shifted up, and they need to really figure out what they're doing there with that, because again, that's another part of the presentation of your wrestlers. Like when you have a fairly generic wrestler, it's like, well, you need to do more than that. You need to have more than just being a generic wrestler that is on the roster, etc. Like you need to have something for you. You need to make yourself more specific, and more stand out more, so that you can be looked at as saying, oh, well, this person's going places. Their theme, their character, the way they are, everything about them feels like they're going somewhere. That's like what Joe Hendry is. He's got specifics. Everything about him is very specific. Josh Alexander, very specific. Like, again, perhaps it's lending on some things from the past. Same thing with Joe Hendry. You can argue some of that stuff with LA Knight, some of these other people, etc. They lean on some of these other things that from the past, etc. But, even CM Punk, but whatever. Again, you can sort of see it if you really squint hard enough, but you can definitely distinguish that this is this person, their own character, not just, they're copying The Rock or trying to copy The Rock or whatever too much, or trying to take things from that, because they're getting over as themselves while mixing in something, that is or has been successful in the past, So it's a great thing to see. I'd like to see certainly more of it, but I'd certainly like to see more of recognition again for, again, I'd love even to know who the heck, produces some of this music and whatnot, because again, a lot of it's really, really good. Giselle Shaw's original theme was pretty darn good, and it's still really darn good. And it was so good, I guess, that they couldn't really get away from it and whatnot. But again, Tasha Steele's theme music, I don't know whether she had that on the indies or whatever else. The Rascals theme music, that's pretty darn banging. Again, I don't want to go through too much of it because I'm going to miss some and whatnot. But again, you get the picture. Immediately, who this kind of is. It is a bit generic, the Rascals, a little bit, but it really fits them quite well. So, again, when it fits somebody quite well and you keep it that way, it really keeps associating itself with that person or that group. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and then me talking about wrestling themes, because they are important, I think. But tell me what you guys think. Are wrestling themes important? And if you know who produces the TNA themes, let me know as well, because I would love to know. Shove some praise on them for making some really banging themes out there for these wrestlers when they're coming out, because just hearing some generic whatever music is just like, oh yeah, whatever. It hypes up the crowd for what's going on when oh shit, yeah, damn, bro, this is a banging track for this person. Yes, it wouldn't work for, this other person or that person or whatever, but it works for this person. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed and hope you will join me again in another one.